Okay, so I'm Donovan Frederickson for Skinny Guy Campers. Today I wanted to spend a few minutes inside of a Skinny Guy camper to point out some of the key and distinct advantages and features that make this product a little bit different than traditional truck bed campers. So I'd like to start by, having a look at the cooktop and sink area. We've inside of our product, due to the fact that we got to close down to be cab high and cab profile, we've had to make our kitchen, we'll call it a kitchen unit, modular in so much as it has to be able to quickly be removed and replaced, and then have the gas ports and the utilities reconnected and disconnected. So how we went about that is these medical grade push button quick connects that are simply clicked into place using just a little bit of force. And then we have also done that with our gray water drain. So you can see those three connections there are easy, very easy to make. Matter of seconds to connect them, and also to disconnect them simply by pushing the button on the side of the connection. So making those water connections and drain connections is not a hassle. We wanted to make that as easy as possible. Same thing with our LP connection to connect for the cooktop. Just it's a quick connection like that. This does have a gas valve on it to shut it off. And this final connection is for the furnace. This tells the furnace what the room temperature is, and also in the absence of that connection, the furnace will not run. The cooktop sink is a single burner unit for space savings. Stainless steel, made by Can, which is an Italian company. Pretty basic little unit, but it's lightweight. We chose a mixer faucet here for your hot and cold mixer. And we also chose it because it has a gooseneck that goes all ways, so you can kind of get it up out of the way. And then of course it needed to be able to fold down below the glass cooktop here. So down below the cooktop we have two access compartments, and our marine push button lights that do have a dimmer system built into them. By holding the center, you can dim those down or just simply shut them off. But I wanted to show these access compartments and, quite frankly, how well they're built. This panel here is part of the structure, and then these doors are integrated into it, but we use 3/16 stainless marine hinges, South Co hardware. All of our stainless rivets are captured closed nose rivets, both for aesthetics and strength and sealing. So in this compartment we'll find our water pump and two valves and some braided poly water lines. This area here is fairly well occupied by the water system here. However, I wanted to point out that we used braided poly, stainless steel pinch clamps on all of our connections. If you look back in there, you're going to see two valves. Those two valves represent two holding tanks for our freshwater system, and our 6.5 kit and caboodle model has two separate 18-gallon freshwater tanks. Those two valves, when positioned opposite of each other, will determine which tank the water pump gets water from. This compartment next to the water compartment houses the winch for the front tie-down system. I have some other stuff in here for now. I have some touch-up paint for the powder coat. This compartment is accessed also from the exterior, so you can reach in from the exterior into this compartment. This compartment's quite a bit bigger than it looks. It does act as a really nice storage compartment for food, and because you can pass food or items through that outside compartment, you can actually put stuff in without opening the camper. So as a continuation along this area here, we put into USB, actually a 3-port USB charger, and then a 12-volt power outlet that is designated for a fridge. In the absence of a fridge, you would just have a 12-volt power source there. Next to the this area is our switch locations. These switches control our overhead light, and our base lights are controlled with this one. Then our water pump, you can hear the water pump come on. And then the fourth switch is an auxiliary switch. Moving on to the inside this panel, we'll see that we have our controls for our inverter, our red arc battery manager, and our Truma combi. So one of our key features is our appliances. Our furnace system is a 14,300 B2 Truma Corporation combi. So this is the Eco. This acts as both the hot water heater and the furnace for this unit. And because of the 14,300 B2 output, this furnace is more than adequate for this space. During testing, these campers have been to 10 below 0 Fahrenheit with full comfort and full functional water systems. And how that's achieved is that we do duct heat into the underbelly, or the space below the floor where the holding tanks and some of the water lines are. So in this compartment you'll see some electronics, and the furnace pretty much occupies and the ducting occupies the rest of the space. So this compartment is not for storage. This area here is where the refrigerator sits in normal use. Next to the Truma compartment where the furnace is the power and electronics bay. Inside here we've housed the 1000 watt Xantrex Freedom X inverter. Place for the battery, this one has a 156 amp hour lithium battery. Over here below the fuse and distribution system is the Red Arc Battery Manager 30 unit. Also there is some utilities coming through, water utilities that are for the gravity and the venting system for the holding tanks below the floor. Out in front of this compartment we placed the controls for the battery management system, which is by Red Arc. This acts as the solar controller, the battery charger for AC power to DC power, and also manages the power coming in from your vehicle. Below we have the 1000 watt inverter controller. This allows you to simply turn the system on and off, and it also monitors how much amperage is being drawn through the system. The red arc also can give you a readout as far as amperage use and then days till empty. So it says here that it's because we're charging, because the solar is deployed, it says an hour until full. Next to it is the control system for the furnace. This has both the hot water heater control and the furnace control. There's the furnace control, it's off. And then here's the hot water control. You have 3 settings. So we consolidated all the controls to one space adjacent to this compartment in order to make it more compact. Next to the utility bay, or the electronics, inside this area, we wanted to make this as free of obstructions and utilities as possible in order to maximize interior storage. So on the other side of this bulkhead is all the electronics. On this side we wanted to make it as clean and clear as possible. However, we did have to pass through some water lines. There are some power lines coming in from the solar system. The LP system passes through the back here. And then also the furnace has ductwork that has to pass through this area here. But otherwise, this is really good for bedding and clothing and sleeping bags, pillows, other items. Maybe give you a sense of how, and that closes down to complete this side of the bench. Moving on around the inside, we just looked at the inside of this compartment. I'm going to have a look at the inside of this compartment here. This one was also designated to be as free of obstruction as possible to provide more interior storage. So on the inside you'll see that there's a pass through here to the side compartment that allows the furnace vents to go by. Otherwise, this is a fairly wide open compartment for just general storage. The bulkhead support here next to is supports the bench, and then on the other side of this is of course the toilet cabinet. I'd like to point out why I'm in here is this valve here is the Truma's, is the valve that drains back the Truma boiler. This is for quick and easy winterization of the system. It is a bit of a process, but it is more or less as simple as opening that valve and letting the system drain back to this point. This would drain over the tailgate area. Continuing on to the rest of the bench area, we have placed our flushing toilet. So in the absence of a flushing toilet, there would be a porta potty. In the absence of a porta potty, another large storage compartment for the user. This one has the full flushing toilet option. This is a feature that we were going to be putting on all of our camper models. We wanted to try to achieve the full flushing toilet. This is an RV toilet that is a simple gravity flush. It uses a hand valve in the back here. Below this area is a 20-gallon black tank that is managed using the waste is managed using a macerator system. Very cool system. A lot of people can use this toilet system for a lot of days. So if you need to be out for multiple days, this does give you the opportunity to really stay out a long time. That combined with the 36 gallons of fresh water, there's really quite a bit of off-grid capacity with this system. Down in front of the toilet cabinet, which is here, we added the hot and cold shower point. This is a bullfinch. I think they're from England. It's a really simple system to use. It has a plug-in with the hose extension. This becomes the mixer valve for hot and cold. We put it right there so you're able to extend the hose and pull it on outside and use the exterior shower enclosure. And we also added a floor drain to the camper here in order to accommodate that same shower enclosure inside for when it's cold. So I'll take a few final moments to pan through the interior of the camper to hopefully give viewers a sense of how cavernous and comfortable this space actually is. We really focused on getting quite a bit of floor space. Let's maximize this standing space. We believe this is as much as many regular truck bed campers have as far as floor space. The dinette seating space, we tried to maximize that to be at least a 3-person, up to a 4, depending on how small or large the occupants are. The bed in this model is around 50 inches wide, and from that point to that point about 77 inches long. Moving on to the side here, around to the kitchen, you see the zipper door entryway that zips back and can retain all the way back here to allow for maximum airflow. We added this access port to access the trash bag holder that can be mounted below this space here. You see the cooktop sink, and back over to the fridge. To recap, our truck bed camper that closes down to be cab high and cab profile like a topper has all the same features as conventional truck bed campers, and actually some more. Cooktop sink, adequate 14,000 plus B2 furnace, a refrigerator, a comfortable dinette and a comfortable bed, the flushing toilet and the interior shower drain, all in a package that sits only about cab high on most trucks, and also offers 12 inches of truck bed storage underneath the camper. Thanks again for having a look.